We will play a couple of clips from Ted Cruz just because there are some that are really just too good to play. And then we have actually found something that will function as an antidote, so that your ears, when they begin to start to bleed, we've found something that will cauterize the bleeding, I think.
Sort of an auditory palate cleanser.
That's right. But you do got to hear some of the choice nuggets from the Ted Cruz, I don't know what to call it, extended speech. A filibuster is, just to be clear, a filibuster is something you do, the technical term at least, is when you get up in the Senate or some similar legislative body and continue to talk in hopes to prevent debate from moving forward on a specific bill. You command the floor and prevent the body from voting on a motion to proceed or to take up a bill. In this instance, before Ted Cruz actually got to the floor, he knew that there was an agreed upon time frame for him to talk, and then he would stop and the bill would be voted upon. So unlike what we saw with Rand Paul's filibuster, which ultimately ended and didn't prevent the bill from going forward, or Wendy Davis's in Texas, which actually did prevent the bill from being voted upon. She was able to run out the clock. Ted Cruz's was not really a filibuster. It was just an extended speech for fundraising purposes, presumably. Or for, look, I'm saying this as someone who did a 12-hour show. That was not a filibuster. It was not a filibuster. It was an interesting exercise, and we got some good interviews out of it. And Ted Cruz got away with, I will say this, that early on he did mention Benihana's, and that has stuck in my mind. I have not been able to get the idea of going to a Benihana's out of my mind. I don't know if there is one in New York, but
I think there's one out on Long Island.
Can I ask you,
that
as
won't
a
happen.
homeschooled kid, what is Benihana's?
It had nothing to do with school. Benihana's,
Well, just
I
general
went
cultural isolation.
in Boston as a kid. The big night out for us in Worcester would be to go to Benihana's, and it's like it was a Japanese restaurant. I presumably they still exist. A Japanese restaurant where they would cook the food on a skillet in front of you. And the chefs would do all these fancy things where they would flip the pepper up in the air and bang a spatula, and the shrimp would go up in the air and land on the grill, and it was
Apparently, Sam, there is a
small portions.
There's a Benihana on 56th and 6th Avenue.
We're there. End of story. So my compliments to Ted Cruz. This was not all in vain. I will be going to Benihana's, and maybe I will tweet out some pics.